What's up, everybody? Well, today I'm here to bring you another vacuum that just joined my vacuum collection. And this is something I originally didn't think I was gonna get. Here I present to you a Riccar Supralite, one of the many versions of the Tacony lightweight upright. There was the Riccar Supralite. There was also a Simplicity Freedom, which is no longer being made. There was also the Maytag M500. And then there were these. There were some others that used this design, some of which I can't think of offhand. But anyway, how I got this vacuum was I found this thing sitting at a local pawn shop, which I frequent to a lot of pawn shops just looking for old stuff to fix up, particularly old vacuums and lawn equipment. And I stumbled across this at one of the pawn shops I stopped at. And weirdly enough, this thing was listed, get this, for only $20. I'm convinced the people at that pawn shop didn't even know what the heck they're selling. Because they just took one look at this, they'll think, it's just another Oreck knockoff. But, so I managed to get quite a good deal to the point I just couldn't pass it up. So I brought it home with me. And I went to test it out, and I thought $20, I thought there's something wrong with it. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it. All it needed was a belt and a little bit of clean out of the brush roll. And obviously a brand new bag, because for whatever reason, the previous owner didn't even run a bag in this thing. But just a quick clean out and a fresh new belt from the local vacuum store. And here it is today. And for those of you who are not familiar with the Riccar Supralite, this is one of those vacuums that Tacony made for those who wanted a lightweight upright. Specifically, this is for those people who wanted an Oreck but didn't like its lackluster performance. So Tacony decided to make the answer, to step in for their Riccar name. Back then they also did the Simplicity Freedom and later evolved into the Maytag M500, where they made a lightweight upright vacuum that outperformed an Oreck. But anyway, we'll go over why that is, why it outperforms an Oreck better later in the video. But first, let's give a walkthrough of the machine. Right here, you have your comfort grip handle. Right here, it's a very nice rubber coating on the handle. It's definitely have a nice comfort feel. Right here you have your 2-speed switch. You have your low speed there and high speed down here. A pretty interesting power switch design. I honestly wished it was the off, low, then high. Kind of like what Oreck would have done. But for whatever reason they decided the middle is off, up is on, up is low, down is high. Not too sure what Tacony's idea was in making this power switch design, but it still works. You just have to remember which position is low speed and which one is high speed. I honestly thought this thing would have been reversed. The up is high, down is low. So that did take some getting used to for me. And let's give a look. There's the outer bag design for these newer style of Supralites. The older ones had the traditional flat-looking outer bag, which was a single layer that had the Riccar lettering on the front. But this one has a much more durable design that is double pleated inside, so you have much better filtration out of this. You also have the dual zippers and your little Riccar logo right there. Here's the bag system in this. This is the bag docking system on these R10 style Riccars, and basically it's almost like an Oreck. You just slide it out and it seals itself shut. like that, and there's how it is, and it puts on to a little bag dock right there and latches in. There's your fill tube right there. Definitely a lot larger than what you see on an Oreck. So these things definitely have much more airflow than the Orecks would. So now let's go ahead and straighten up this bag here. Let's go ahead and put the zipper back up. And here, right here, you have the nice purple color scheme to these. Of the model number, I would like to show you right now. This is actually a Riccar R10S. I would like to point out that's just the base version of the Riccar Supralites. If this were any lower, it would have had the foot switch instead of the 2-speed switch. So this is technically a lower end 2-speed version, but it does have the very nice purple color to it. And right here it says these are made in the USA, which that is true, but however, these are assembled in the USA. They do have globally sourced components in these. That doesn't mean they're necessarily a bad machine. Technically, Tacony sources a lot of their parts mostly from Taiwan. At least it's not China. I will tell you that. You have a big bright headlight right there. Let's go ahead and flip this thing down to show you the underside. Right here is the brush roll. This is one of the 2 brush rolls that you can get for these Supralites. This is the wooden roller brush. That is a chevron style, which, as you see, funnels all the dirt into that center suction path. So the powerful suction and airflow can take it away. The bristles on these Riccars, as well as other Tacony machines, are incredibly stiff. Which, these things are almost razor stiff. So this thing has excellent carpet agitation, which is one of the few main reasons why this thing will outclean an Oreck, because the brush rolls on Orecks are very soft. I mean, this is literally the opposite of soft. These things are very stiff. It definitely grooms and agitates the carpet very good for a deep down clean. And anyway, let's go ahead and look again at the model number. Like I said, it's Riccar Cleaner model R10S. This has a 5.5 amp motor. Another reason why these clean better than Orecks, the motor is a little bit bigger than the Oreck. Which the classic Orecks had, at biggest, their motor is only 4 amps. And it says right here, it's made in the USA with globally sourced components. Right here you have a little squeegee in the back, so you can clean on bare floors without scattering debris. However, one thing I would like to say, I wouldn't recommend using this on bare floors. Ooh. I've owned a few Orecks in the past before I've owned this, and although they might not deep clean as good as this does, they are honestly, in my opinion, a more refined machine. But, however, they don't deep clean as good as these Riccars do. And that's mostly due to that stiff bristle brush roll and the little bit larger motor and fan impeller that's in this. And speaking of fan impeller, I would like to point out what makes the R10s a little bit different than the RSL style Riccar Supralites, which was its predecessor, is, for one, the R10s come with this little pedal release, and the older Riccars you had to step down on the side and pull back to release it into its vacuuming position. But also, the fan impeller on these R10s are a little bit different. than the RSLs. For whatever reason, Riccar went down to only a 5-blade fan on these R10s compared to the RSL's 7-blade fan. At least the fins on the 5-blade fan are a little bit longer than the RSL. But for the most part, they're nearly identical machines, the RSL compared to the R10s. The only difference you get, obviously, are fan impeller, and the R10s take a little bit different of a bag design. The RSLs just use like a cardboard collar instead of the plastic collar that doesn't self-seal like this does. But parts like brush rolls and stuff, they're almost the same. And I forgot to point out that since this is the lower end model with the wooden roller brush, there is a higher end version that does come with a metal brush roll with replaceable strips, which is a little bit better than this wood brush roll, but the bristles are still very stiff. And before we do anything else, let's go ahead and release the cord. The cord release, for whatever reason, the quick release cord hook is on the bottom. I'm used to it being on the top. So that's another thing that took some getting used to. So let's go ahead and unravel this guy. This is why I like to run down the cord to make sure this thing doesn't get any tangles in it. All right, there we go. Well, let's go and plug this guy in. And we'll go ahead and turn this thing on and demo it for you guys to show you just how good this thing cleans. Now, we'll go ahead and show you the low speed, which this is mostly used for cleaning low pile area rugs and bare floors, but in my opinion, I do not think this works very good on bare floors. I mean, mostly because the brush roll is so harsh, and it doesn't turn off, which is honestly a reason why I like the Orecks a little bit better, and I think they're more of a refined machine than these Taconys are. Because since their bristles are soft, you won't have to worry about it damaging hardwood floors or any certain areas of carpet. Because when this thing is on bare floors, you'll hear, because of how stiff the bristles are, it'll just buzz along the bare floor surface, which can get annoying at some times. But anyway, here is how it runs on low speed. And here is high speed. And just to show you how powerful this thing is, even though it doesn't do it as good on this particular pile of carpet, this thing will slowly but surely walk itself forward like the YouTube videos of this thing show it doing. That's just how powerful the agitation on this is. So, other than that, let's go ahead and turn this thing on and give you a demo of it running. runs very smooth, incredible agitation. I could actually feel some of the agitation just inches away from the thing. And anyway, this is an excellent deep cleaning upright vacuum for something of its class, I will say. And one little remark I have on this thing is the sound of the motor. Is it just me, or does this sound almost nearly like an Oreck? Well, partly due to that is because of the fan blade design. The 7-blade fan in the RSLs have a little bit different of sound. I'm convinced Riccar or Tacony as a whole did this. I don't think they did this intentionally to make it sound like an Oreck. I'm thinking they mostly did it for like noise concern, because the 7-blade fan in the RSLs were pretty loud. So I don't know if they did that mostly for noise or to increase airflow and cleaning performance. But that's just the way these R10s sound. So anyway, if you guys want a deep cleaning, lightweight upright vacuum, and especially if you have areas where it's mostly carpet and you want something that deep cleans very well, get you one of these Tacony lightweight uprights, whether it be used or brand new. And if you want to spend all that money to get something brand new with a warranty, by all means go for it, because for what I paid for this, it was quite a steal, to be honest with you. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video of my newly acquired Riccar Supralite R10S. Be sure and stay tuned, and don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.